Hey guys, twitch.tv/Mazeltov here with another hyper Goldfarm spot in BFA Drustvar's Corlain Aviary. If you like what you see here, if you learned something new, click that like and subscribe button, and then in the description I'll have different ways that you can stay in touch. Let's get started. Welcome back everybody. Third video in the series for the BFA Hyper Goldfarm guides that I'll be putting out. Here's the different sections I'll be covering in this guide. You'll notice below in the description you'll find the timestamps to jump around within the video itself to whatever section of the guide that you, the viewer, are looking for. Yes, anti-point of YouTube, I know. Here's the different sections that I'll be going over within this guide. Available items to earn on this farm, the farm requirements, the farm location, the multi-boxing or group comp recommendations for this farm, the farm routes and leashing, any tips and tricks while doing this farm, and then to wrap it up, we'll be doing gold earned value on a single account while multi-boxing, and then the gold earned value when 5-boxing. Alright boys, first section, what items can you get? For anyone not having stepped into BFA, then this section will be for you. You'll be able to earn the following items from this farm. You'll be able to get tide spray linen and deep sea satin. Something to note, which I make a point to mention in all my videos, is bring a tailor here for the scavenger perk. You'll just be able to get more of these raw mats, which sell for a decent amount of gold on the auction house. Green BOEs, which you can scrap. You can also DE it if you have an enchanter, or you can sell them in bulk to a buyer in trade chat. I've been selling at the time of this video the BFA greens for 120 to 135 gold per on Tichondrius, which is a high pop server for the folks that are not aware. Epic BOEs can drop for folks as well that are 120. I'm listing some examples to the right as to what BFA epics you can earn to sell. Epic BOEs at the time of the video will sell for a range between 30 to 200k depending on the item. Other factors that do come into play: which server are you on? Did it roll a higher item level? Was it a weapon BOE or an armor BOE? Weapons usually sell for more. T-Bos. Any current content that is out, which is easier to get a specific wrist or pants piece than going out and farming this BOE. Those pieces usually sell for less, as the alternative is easier to get. Does it have a socket? GG if it does. Was this too much info on the BOEs for epics? Then just go to the auction house and check. On top of all that, you will get raw gold from the grays that you'll get. You'll just sell them to the vendor. And if that wasn't enough, you can even earn the chewed on reins of the terrified pack mule. Yeah, this is a really good loot table. Next section in this guide is farm requirements. What do you need to be able to do this farm? If you've been following my BFA Hyper Gold guide, you'll start noticing a trend here. Let's get into it. First thing to note, this section is just my personal recommendation to help increase the kill count, which helps increase the potential for gold earned. First, in my opinion, 2x4 man groups, multi-boxers will be already familiar with this trick to get 8 of their accounts phased together to quest level or farm. All the 2x4 group method is just 2 groups of 4 people together phase onto a single server. 2x4 man groups are just better than your traditional 5-man farm because it helps increase the kill count, which means you leash more, which means you kill more, which, like I said, makes you earn more. Second, one good monk to group up the mobs with the statue. Crackling to help continue pulling, and then even off healing is needed. If you can't get a decent monk dropping the statue, then keeping it up 100%. Not the end of the farm. It's fine. It's okay. Just get a second monk to help. I can tell you out of the BFA hyper farms, this is probably the more straightforward of the monk responsibilities to help group all the mobs up. You just need good leashers, which we will get into later in the video. Just make sure you don't bring any AFK monks. We already know why. Third point, at least 2 ranged DPS for leashing the mobs to the statue. That is all you'll need for this farm. Can do this farm if you're sub 120. You just wouldn't be able to get any of the epic BOEs. You will still be able to get the mount as well as the other items on the loot table, the greens, the tide sprays, the deep sea satins, the grays. You just would be limiting yourself to not be eligible to get the epic BOEs, but you will be gaining experience instead. Alright, next section in the guide is farm location. The location is in Drustvar's Corlain Aviary. Where's Corlain Aviary? You'll find this in the map in the Alliance BFA zone of Avairy. Just go northeast of Corlain, which is written out on the map. I marked on the map and even listed the chords. The chords are 32.65 by 23.70. Next up, new section I'll be adding in this guide is for multi-boxers and people looking to understand the group setup. Now, you don't need to be a multi-boxer to find the benefits in this section helpful. It will still help you to understand what comp to use when the group farm this in the future. For the ×5 or ×8 multi-boxers, you'll need at least
surprise, motherfucker,
1 monk, and the rest to be boomkin, druids, or hunters. Or the second option is you can get 2 monks and ranged DPS such as boomkin or hunters. The second monk statue will be for the mobs in the west leading out on the road from the building. You can just have your range DPS bounce between the two groups. Third option, screw it, go all range, target everything, kill everything, and then loot. Engineering is preferred in this setup, or fetch if you're doing this as a hunter, as the mobs will be spread out. Now, non-multi-boxers, what comp can you do? If you want to build your group optimally, increase that kill count, here's what I would recommend. First, you'll want
surprise, motherfucker,
a monk, just 1. Drop in statues where it is shown in the video. The farm is relatively autopilot for everyone, to be honest. There's nothing too complex here with this farm. 1 brew monk should be able to handle it. Out of the BFA farms that I have covered so far, the responsibilities for the role of the farm for the monk is easy. The mobs are located really close to each other. Second, 2 range DPS for leashing. 1 will go hard west to pull the mobs in. Other leashers will pull the mobs in from the immediate area where the monk statue is located. Outside of those 3 roles, the rest of the slots, you can grab any DPS to AoE the mobs down, leash the mobs in the immediate area, and then go back to AoE DPS. You can use range or melee. It doesn't make a difference at this point. Next up is farm route and leashing for Corlain Aviary. So the monk statue is base, which means range DPS gets to play tag. First leasher will leash the mobs in the immediate area around the monk statue as shown in the video. The second leasher, probably the hardest responsibility here, is the west range puller. Now, when we had a hunter, that hunter absolutely killed it. He would range DPS pull with barrage. He would disengage back to the monk. AoE kill the mobs and then just repeated it like clockwork. Was absolutely great. But if you don't have a hunter or you don't have someone who has that skill set to just keep on turning those mobs out, any range DPS will do. Just max range pull the mobs to the monk statue. Some tips and tricks for the leashers while pulling. Leashers always give what I call drive-by DPS. Use your AoE abilities, give a couple hits if you don't have anything to leash at that immediate moment, or if you have too many mobs collected at the monk statue, stop what you're doing, which is leashing. Go ahead and AoE and DPS the mobs down and then go back to leashing. Next tip is for boomkins. If they are at the monk statue and if you look behind the building, you can AoE Starfall behind the building to pull those mobs. As our old pal Charlie Sheen would say, winning, you'll be able to earn 3 extra mobs for each time the spawn rate occurs. If you don't have a boomkin, what about a warlock? You can drop a pad to port behind the building to pull the mobs and leash them back to the monk as well. Core tip, it is an alliance area, so if you have war mode on there, it is a pretty popular area for the alliance, so you will probably see several as you go. If that's not your thing, you may want to turn war mode off. Me personally, I had more time fighting and killing the alliance and earning that 15% damage buff, but that's just me. Now for the final section of this guide, last but not least, the 1 hour wrap up of how many items earned on average during the 8+ hours of this farm. This feels better than the previous BFA hyper farms that I've covered in these series. I'm gonna get a mob kill count tracker very soon to incorporate that metric into the videos. And I'm just curious myself. I had to sell to the vendor 4 times in a single hour each time that I was trying to put some videos together for this guide. It just felt like it was just more mobs in general, so I want to try to ground those feelings in facts. When I get the add-on, it will definitely help. Let's get to the numbers. Now this is for one single character when 5-boxing. Raw gold earned around 1,000 to 1,500 gold, selling grades to the vendor. Green BOEs around 70 to 90 BFA greens. Tide spray linen around 380 to 470. Deep sea satin was around 50 to 70. Now keep in mind this is without tailoring. If you have tailoring, you will earn more than those numbers that I'm showing you guys. I do not have tailoring when I am doing these farms. Epic BOEs and mounts that you can earn is between 0 to 1 RNG is RNG. Now I'll share with you how many items earned when 5-boxing And there it is up on the screen. Items earned when 5-boxing for raw gold is around 5,000 gold to 7,500 gold. Green BOEs, 350 to 450 BFA greens. Tie spray linen, 1,900 to 2,350. Deep sea satin, around 250 to 350. Folks, it's without tailoring. If you have tailoring, like I said, you will get more. Epic BOEs and mounts, 0 to 1. I actually went 2 hours without a BOE last night when streaming on Twitch. It felt really bad, guys. But what do I keep on telling you? RNG is RNG. I've gone a single hour where I've gotten 5 BOEs. It is what it is, folks. What? Third guide complete in this series for BFA Hyper Goldfarm guides brought to you by Mazeltov. I am looking for feedback. What worked here in this guide? Share your comments below. What does not work? What opportunities did I miss? Leave the comments. I will read through every single one of them. I promise you. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, in the description is a list of timestamps to travel around within the guide to whatever specific section you want to see. Yes, it is anti-YouTube. I get it. It's okay. Ways to stay in touch and be plugged into the channel is listed below in the description. How to earn the WoW tokens, pets, gold giveaways, BFA giveaways will be communicated down below in Twitter and be done on my Twitch channel. You must be following and subscribed in my YouTube to be eligible. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you, and keep up the gold farm.